Namaste. Welcome. It's Jackie. We're going to do a little yoga practice together. So please take a moment to get yourself situated. And if you have a yoga mat, you can put that out on the floor. Of course, if you don't have a yoga mat, it's fine. You can just have enough room where you'll be able to lie down, enough room to stretch your arms over your head. And then I suggest you may have something to pad your knees, like I have a couple of blankets here, a thick towel may be helpful. Get what you have. Turn off your devices, close the door of the room that you're in, give yourself a little bit of time. We'll be doing this practice for about 30-40 minutes, and you want to just give yourself a little space and time for self-care. This is what our practice is about, so a little time for self-care. So today we're going to start standing on our feet. And I'd just like you to, once you get settled, start to shift the weight side to side and get a sense of where you are. So we're going to let the weight shift side to side and the head turn. So let your eyes go slow and let your eyes just scan the room. So notice what you see all the way around, all the colors, any light that catches your eye. Just let your eyes scan the room. And then we're going to let the movement start to get bigger. So you can step your feet out a little bit wider and you can let your arms swing and wrap around and let the hands touch your back. If you can, you want to tap just below your kidneys in the back, just below your ribs in the back on the kidneys. So that little tap on the kidney meridian. Keep going. You can let your eyes kind of peek at the wall or the floor behind you, and that'll get a little more movement in your neck. And you can let the back heel rock up off the floor so that you feel a little bit of movement in your hips. So the whole spine, cervical, thoracic, lumbar spine are all getting this little gentle rotation movement. It's a great movement to do anytime you've been sitting too long, first thing in the morning, get blood moving, get the fluid moving around in your body. Little twisting movements help with digestion, so nice movement to do in the morning. And then come to stillness, come to stand in mountain pose. You just want to stack your feet up under your hips and find a comfortable stance. See if you can stand a little taller. You might roll your palms open just to open up the front of the chest a little bit. And a couple of breaths with a sigh. So inhale here, shrug your shoulders, and a sigh. We're going to do that one more time, and as you sigh this time, let your eyes close. Inhale, and soften or close your eyes, and take a moment, just a few rounds of breath to arrive. So we're beginning to turn away from the concerns and to-dos of the day and take a little time for ourselves to care for the body. And then blink your eyes open. So this is mountain pose. We're standing nice and tall, like a steady mountain. And we're going to do this moving mountain. So as you inhale, let your arms float up over your head. And as you do that, lift your heels up off of the floor. And then on the exhale, lower your hands down and let your heels touch the floor when your hands come all the way down and touch your legs. So the heels don't have very far to go, so they're going to move really slow. So inhale up. And as you do this, you may notice that your legs quiver. Exhale down. And this is what we want. We want to wake up those muscles in the legs, and it helps with balance. So do that again. Inhale up. And exhale down. And we're going to do a few variations here just to play with our brain. So this time I'd like you to take your right arm all the way up over your head and your left arm halfway up. Okay, and then as you start to lower, let the top arms start to come down, and when they're parallel, bring them down together. Okay, and then to the other side. So left arm all the way up, right arm halfway up. Lift your heels any amount. Feel that shaking. And then as you start to lower, top arm starts to come down. When they're parallel, bring them down together. Good. Both arms all the way up. We're going to stay at the top for one breath. So on the exhale, lower both arms halfway down. Lower your heels halfway down. And on your inhale, rise back up. Good. Do that again. Exhale, arms halfway down, heels halfway down. Inhale up. And then exhale all the way down. And once you're down, you can kind of wiggle, jiggle a little bit, some shoulder circles. It may feel nice to swing a little bit again. You may notice a little bit of, like you feel like you kind of woke up your legs a little bit. All right, we're going to continue to wake up our legs. We're going to do a little chair pose, a little baby chair, not too deep. So I'm going to stand sideways so you can see my back. I've got my feet hip width apart. If you tend to have low back pain, your back's a little tender, you may find that it's helpful to step your feet even a little bit wider. So starting with your hands on your side body, inhale, lift your chest. And on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and just come down into, like you're going to sit back in a chair. So you want your hips to go back, and you can just slide your hands down the sides of your legs. And inhale, push through your feet, come up to standing. And we're going to do that a couple of times. Explore. How far down do you want to go? How does this feel for your knees? Hips go back, the upper body's leaning forward a little bit, and then inhale back up. Push through your feet. So breathing through the nose on the exhale, there's a little engagement in the abdomen, a little hugging in. And then pushing through your feet on the inhale. And then we're going to stay down there and do some arm movements. So on the exhale, sink down into your chair. And a little bit like what we did in our moving mountain, we're going to inhale the arms out to the side, halfway up. And then exhale your arms down. And inhale, stand back up on your feet. And we'll stay 2 breaths this time, and a little variation with our arms. So exhale halfway down. Down into your chair. And then inhale, lift your arms, one arm forward and one arm out to the side. Exhale, just lower your arms, sink down in your chair a little bit more, and then do the other side. So one arm forward, one arm out to the side. Exhale, lower your arms down. And inhale back up to standing. Okay, so if you can remember what you did first, I'm going to try to switch that. So exhale down. So again, one arm forward, one arm out to the side. Exhale, lower your arms. We're going to stay 3 breaths this time. So switch, the other arm forward, one arm out to the side. And just keeping that bend in your knees. Slow exhale as you lower your arms. And then last one, both arms out to the side. Inhale. Now just stay here on your exhale. And on your inhale, rise all the way up, and you can lift your arms, and you might even lean back a little bit. And exhale down. And again, a little swing, so you can let your arms swing. And now again, you may feel a little, have some awareness of your legs. Maybe that raised your heart rate a little bit. Start to warm up your body. All right, what we're going to do here is a little sequence that puts those 2 movements together. The chair pose where we sink down, and the moving mountain where we lift the heels and the arms up. So standing with your feet hip width apart, bring your hands to your side body and take an in-breath. As you exhale, belly in as you sink down into your chair. Just let your hands slide down your legs. Now on the inhale, we're going to start to let the arms float out to the side and the chest lift. And as you rise up, let your heels lift too, and lift your arms all the way up over your head. Little shaking here. Exhale, bring your arms shoulder height. Start to sink back down into your chairs. Heels can touch, and then down into your chair. And do that again. Inhale, let your arms float out and up. Little heels lift, that quivering in your legs. Exhale, belly in as you come down. All right, inhale up onto your toes as you lift your arms up. We're going to stay up here 1 breath. So on the exhale, soften your heels down a little bit, soften your elbows, and hug your belly in. And on your inhale, reach, reach, reach back up. And then exhale all the way down into your chair. And then we're going to stay here a couple of breaths. So if you lift your arms, maybe you like them out to the sides. Maybe you like this cactus arm position, hugging in the belly, or maybe you lift your arms up nice and high and lift your eyes. Hold, exhale. See if you can stay 1 more inhale. 1 more, kind of sinking into the heels, exhale, and then when you inhale up again, you can lift your arms up and bring your arms down. Little shake, so you might wiggle, jiggle, shake your feet. Now at the beginning, we were just standing still for a moment in our mountain pose. I'd like you to take a pause here. Maybe rolling the palms open, even closing the eyes, and get a sense of how you feel. Sensations in your body, and maybe you feel your respiration or your heart rate has increased. Good. And then please come to, you can open your eyes, and we're going to come onto our hands and knees for a bit. So please let your, when you come down, you may want to pad your knees. I'm going to use this blanket to pad my knees, but get what you need for your body. And we're going to come to the tabletop position here. We're going to have the hands right underneath the shoulders, hips over the knees. On your in-breath, lift your chest. You can bend the elbows a tiny bit, and you might even feel a little stretch into your belly. On the exhale, draw your navel in, fold back so your elbows touch. Your head can bow down any amount. And then glide back up to all fours on your in-breath. Belly draws in as we exhale back. No rushing at all, just a smooth, slow breath as you go back, and a smooth inhale as you lift. That little bend in the elbows may help you lift your chest a little bit. Again, exhale back. Now this inhale, as you rise, take your right leg back behind you. Hold it up there and circle that ankle around a little bit. And then lower your right toes to the floor. Take a moment to push that heel back a little bit. Feel that lengthening in the back of the leg. And then thinking about your right hip on your inhale, just lift your right heel about the height of your hip. You could lift your chest a little here. And then the exhale, touch your toes back down. Pull the belly in. Do you notice how the low back rounds ever so slightly? And then inhale, lift your foot, and you feel that slight arch in your low back. So exhale the toes down, pull your belly in, and pause. On your inhale, we're going to take the left arm forward and hold on the exhale. When you inhale, let the right foot lift back up, lengthen. And what we're going to do here on the exhale is lower the toes of that foot like we did before, and we're going to lower that left arm down so the fingers touch, keeping the arm straight. And then inhale, lift your arm, lift your leg. Again, little back bend here. Exhale, belly in as you touch down. As much control as you can as you lift. If it's a little much for you, maybe you don't lift your foot. Do that again, exhale. Inhale, lengthen, lift, and then this exhale, please lower everything down to the floor. Fold back to child's pose, and if it's helpful to shake that right wrist, do that. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, back. Now we'll do that sequence with the left leg. So inhale, just lift your left leg up, and you can pause there and move that ankle around. And then when you touch the toes of that foot down, you can push the heel back so you feel the lengthening in the back of that leg. And you may notice that it also levels out your hips. And then thinking about that left hip on the inhale, lift your foot so the heel is about the height of your hip. Exhale, touch your toes down, hug your belly in. And inhale, just lift your heel to the height of your hip. You feel the little arch in your back. And then as you touch the toes down, belly draws in. Now keep the foot down and inhale your right arm forward. Stay here on the exhale, pull your belly in. And when you get to the inhale, lengthen that arm, lift your foot. Now here's this kind of weird movement. So exhale, round your back a little, lower your foot and your fingers to the floor. And inhale, reach back out. Now see if you can feel the movement in your belly and your lumbar. Exhale, a little rounding of the low back. And the lift of the chest as you lengthen back out. One more time, exhale again. You could keep the foot on the floor. Inhale. And everything down as you exhale. Fold your hips back. Inhale up to all fours, tabletop. Exhale, come on back. And then getting off the wrists for a moment, please inhale up onto your knees. And we're going to do some movement here standing on our knees. So if it is helpful for you to pad your knees more, you can adjust that. You could also do this standing on your feet if it's not terrific for you to stand on your knees. So we're going to do this movement on the inhale. The arms are going to go up over the head forward. You can lift your eyes. Then we're going to exhale the arms down. Do that again. So almost like the breath lifts your arms up and down. So you can notice your neck. For some people, looking forward right at the horizon will be a nice, comfortable position for the neck. Exhale. If you want to try to lift your eyes up, just don't hyperextend your neck. So inhale. Maybe you lift your eyes more than your chin. Exhale. So we're going to repeat that with a twist. And what we're going to do is the same on the inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to take one arm behind and the other arm forward, and we'll go to this. We're going to take the right arm back. We'll do that 3 times, and then we'll go forward once and then to the other side. So take a breath. Inhale. Just let your shoulders drop down as you exhale. Hug your belly in. Now here we go with the twist variation. So inhale your arms up. On the exhale, right arm behind, left arm forward. Turn your chest. Inhale back to the center. Lift that arm up. And to the same side again. Navel draws in as you turn. Arms long. Eyes can peek back behind. Inhale back up. Exhale. Inhale. Now that's 3 to that side. So exhale all the way down, just forward with your arms, lower your eyes, hug your belly in. And 1 repetition just without the turn. So inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, here we go to the other side. So inhale up. And any amount, let the right arm reach forward. Left arm's going behind, head, eyes turn. And with your inhale, come back to the center. So you want to be moving with your breath, not mine. Exhale through your nose, turn. Inhale. So if you're moving a little faster than me, moving a little slower than me, that's fine. We do want to try to breathe and move as slowly as you can, whatever's comfortable for you. So that's last turn. Exhale, hands all the way down. 1 more all the way up. And exhale your hands down. You may want to circle your shoulders a little bit, and then we'll bring our hands back down to the mat. We're going to go tabletop to child's pose. So on the inhale, that little lift of the chest. On the exhale, navel in as you go back. Rising on the in-breath. Go back on the exhale. We're going to do that 1 more time on the inhale. Come back on the exhale. And then come up to your knees, hands and knees. And we're going to do a little sequence in a moment. There are going to be 3 elements. 1 will be the child's pose. 1 will be the movement we just did standing on our knees. And here's the last one. So exhale, let your hips go back and move your hands a little bit further forward and wider. And on the inhale, as we come up, we're going to let the shoulders come over the wrists and the hips shift forward. This is upward dog. This variation, the knees are on the mat. And then pull your belly in, draw back to child's pose. So we want to find some opening in the front of the hips. Maybe you feel something comfortable in your low back. It should not be painful. Exhale back. So control your range of movement. Don't just hang, don't push into it. So as you come forward, you want to hold back just a little bit. So coming almost to your edge, but not all the way. And exhale back. And then come up to stand on your knees again. And now we're going to put these 3 movements together in a little sequence. So on the in-breath, we're going to lift the arms forward and up. Now on the exhale, as your arms come down, send your hips back. We're going to fold all the way down to child's pose. So let your hands touch, your elbows come down. And then inhale, slide your hands forward as you come up. Do your upward dog here. Exhale all the way back to child's pose. Now, on the inhale, we're going to lift back up to the sky. So reach up, lift your chest, lift your arms, and exhale, just lower your arms down. Okay, so that's the sequence. So inhale your arms up. With as much control as you can, hug your belly and fold down to child's pose. So you can catch yourself with your hands if you need a little support. Slide your hands forward, inhale up, upward dog. Exhale all the way back to child's pose. Reach forward with your arms, lift your chest, come all the way up. And 1 more sequence. Exhale. Inhale, upward dog. No pushing. You want to hold back just a hair. Elbows are bent a little bit. Exhale all the way back. And then last time, all the way up to lightning pose. Inhale up to the sky. On the exhale, bring your hands down. You can move your shoulders, move your neck side to side. And then when you bring your hands back down to the floor this time, you are welcome to rest in child's pose, which may be nice after all that. Or if you'd like a little downward facing dog stretch, you can push up into downward facing dog pose. Tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up, you can pedal out your legs here. Just notice your breath. You may like having your feet a little bit apart here. You may like having the knees a little bent. You can kind of walk them out if you like. You're welcome to stay here longer. If you're ready to come down, come on down. It's fine. And then please come down to your knees if you haven't already. And for the next part, we're going to lie down on the back. So you can move things around so you can lie down on your back. When you come onto your back, we're going to pull the knees into the chest and massage the back a little bit. So make sure your neck is comfortable. You can rock side to side here. So you might notice when you're holding onto your legs, if you're holding on to your shins, if you were to slide your hands behind your knees, would that let your shoulders come down? Would that let your neck relax a little bit? So hold on lightly. And you can rock, or sometimes it's nice to make little circles with the knees. And then for a moment, rest your feet on the floor, let your knees be bent. You may like having the feet a bit apart and the knees touching. You might even rest your hands on your belly. If it's comfortable for you, you could close your eyes. And just get a sense of how you feel lying on your back. And then please open your eyes and walk your feet in hip width apart. We're going to start with our arms, very similar to what we did on standing on our knees. But in this position, you've got the floor to really stabilize your low back. So please inhale your arms up over your head, and maybe they even touch the floor behind you. And as you exhale your arms down, hug your belly in. You can kind of push the back ribs toward the floor here so you get that abdominal engagement. And do that again. Inhale up. Exhale. Now this one we're going to hold the arms up over our head. So inhale up. And the first option is to keep your hands apart, or you could interlace your fingers together. Hold on the exhale, and when you inhale, lengthen your arms. And if your fingers are interlaced, you can push the palms of your hands away. On the exhale, bend your elbows, pull your belly in, and lengthen one more time. Inhale. So exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. We're going to do some similar movements with our legs. So pick your feet up off of the floor, and we're going to lift the legs toward the ceiling. So you can just let your hands rest by your sides. When you get to the in-breath, extend the legs up, and you can push your heels up, spread your toes, and on the exhale, bend. So if it is easy for you, if you're a little more flexible in your hips, if it's easy for you to bring your feet toward your face, try to stack your heels up right over your hips. So you're making something like an L shape with your body. So do that again. Inhale up, and like we did with our arms, we're going to stay on the exhale, soften the knees, hug the belly in. Stay on the inhale, reach up a little bit. Do that again. Exhale, stay, bend your knees a little. Inhale, reach up. Now exhale, bend the knees all the way down, and we're going to do both the arms and the legs together. So inhale, both legs, both arms all the way up. Slow exhale to bring them down. Once more, inhale up. Exhale down, and we'll hold both this time. So inhale everything up, legs up, arms up, and if you want to interlace the fingers, that's fine. Exhale here, soften the knees, soften the elbows, and on your inhale, get longer. Heels over the hips, hands push away. Again, exhale, soften belly in. Inhale, so it lengthens even the spine here. Let's do one more. Exhale. Inhale, and then exhale, bend your knees, release your arms down. Take your feet to the floor. We're going to take the feet, bent knees wide, and we're going to do some windshield wipers with the legs. So take your feet at least as wide as your mat. If you're a little bit tall, you can have them a little bit wider. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, let both knees go over to one side. And I just want you to see how far you can go. Right? Just see what's your range of movement with no pain. And inhale back to the center. So you shouldn't feel pain in your knees. You shouldn't feel pain in your hips. Exhale over. Inhale up. And when you get to the next one, go halfway. So whatever your range of movement was, control it, go halfway over, and inhale back up. And then exhale halfway over to the other side. Inhale back up. If you like, you can turn your head the opposite direction of your knees. Good, go halfway. Inhale. So we're using a little bit of engagement in the abdomen, a little bit of control of our movement by not just letting them flop over to the sides. Inhale. The next time we go to the right, we're going to stay one breath. So if you like going a little further, go on the exhale. And on your inhale, lift your knees up just a tiny little bit. And on your exhale, soften them again. Inhale back to the center. If any of that causes discomfort in your knees or your hips, don't go over so far. So exhale over. Hold on the inhale, tiny lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, center. We're going to do 2 breaths on the other side. So feet nice and wide. Exhale all the way over. And again, don't hurt, no pain. So inhale, lift a tiny bit. Exhale, you might even sigh. One more, lifting a tiny bit. Inhale. Sigh as you release, and then inhale, center. Do that to the other side. Exhale. Inhale, little lift. Sigh. One more, tiny little lift. And let go. And then bring your knees back up. So please walk your feet in hip width apart. We're going to do the bridge pose, a few repetitions. This is a really good pose to incorporate into any movement routine, fitness, anything like that. It's such a good movement. And one of the things about it, especially at the end of our yoga practice, is that it's symmetrical and nice thing to do after twists. So have your feet hip width apart. You can bring your hands palms down by your sides. And first inhale, just lift your hips up off of the floor. Feel you want to look up so the neck is even. Feel your chest lift. And then exhale down. Now we are kind of coming to the end of our practice here. You can see as you do the movement, inhale up. If you can let the exhales be a little bit longer. So just as slow as you can, lower down. And then when you inhale naturally, lift back up. Any amount that you lift is fine. And then a nice slow exhale to lower down. You might even think about rolling your spine down one vertebra at a time. Do it one more time. Inhale. And then that slow exhale to bring you down. And then you can draw your knees up into your chest or move your legs, your feet any way you like. You might want to circle your ankles a little bit or give them a little shake. You could shake your hands and feet, kind of shaking it off. Did some things on our tiptoes, so maybe a little massage for your back. Did a bunch of back bends. So. Then bring your feet to the floor. So for many people, when you're lying on the floor, it's nice to keep the knees bent, and you're welcome to do that. You might even like having the feet apart and the knees touching. This tends to put the back in a comfortable, neutral position. It's nice for a lot of people. If you're comfortable lying flat, you can stretch your legs out flat on the floor. If you want to be kind of stretched out, but it's not great to have your legs stretched out flat, you can put a pillow, bolster, blanket under your knees, or even rest your legs up in a chair so the calf muscles are resting in a chair. And then you can give yourself a hug, wrap your hands around your shoulders, and we're going to just do a little rocking here. Pat yourself on the back and say, good job. And then switch the way you've crossed your arms. Rock a little bit more, pat yourself on the back, and you can say kind things to yourself. I love you so much. It was so fun to be with you. And then you can release your arms down. So as we come to rest, again, whatever's comfortable for your legs, you may like having the hands on the belly. You may like having them out to the sides. And take a moment to get yourself settled so that you can really let your body rest. If you're cold, you can add some extra clothing or put a blanket on top of you. Maybe you'd like something under your neck. At the very beginning, we took a couple of breaths with a little sigh. We're going to do that again here. So inhale, sigh. Another inhale. If you haven't already, you can close your eyes. Give yourself permission to let your body rest for the next 5 or 10 minutes. If you find it challenging to lie still, notice that and try to stay for 12 breaths. So if you feel like you just have to hop right up, just try to make yourself stay for 12 breaths. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live with ease. May we all live in peace. So again, try to let your body rest. If you happen to fall asleep, that's fine. I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.